Welcome back, everyone. My name is Waj, and today we are back with the 0 to 6 figure portfolio series. It's been a while. I've been touching grass. It's summer. I hope that some of you guys have been as well. Let me know in the comment section below if you've been enjoying the summer. I think one thing that we haven't been enjoying is the market. And as you can see on screen, there's a sea of red again. Yeah, it's not looking good for our alts at all, is it? And lots to really catch up on over the last week or so since the last update. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of these things. First of all, let's have a look at the Bitcoin chart, because I think this tells you everything, really. I mean, the price over the last few weeks, in fact, the last month or so, has been pretty much in this downtrend. I mean, it was pretty clear before that we were chopping around, and this is something that I did talk about in the last few episodes, where we were in this range kind of going up, down, up, down, up, down. But this to me clearly is a downtrend, and we're at quite a critical part now, really, where we're at the range lows. If you think of it like this being a range, just like this, or even actually like this. We're pretty much at the range lows, in fact potentially even breaking out to the downside, actually. And this has like put a lot of people in some worry, because ultimately this has resulted in your altcoins, whatever altcoin you're in, getting absolutely obliterated. Now, of course, there are a few exceptions, but generally across the board, your altcoin, no matter what you've picked, you're likely to be down bad if you did buy towards the top, which I'm sure many people, including myself, have been doing. I think like a lot of people are now looking at this low 50 range now, and so I think this is a really interesting part, because do we bounce back up from here, or are we going to head all the way down to this next range low, maybe even a bit lower, maybe even into the high 40s? This is concerning, because ultimately it means your altcoins, which are already down 80%, are going to go down 90 to 95%. And, that can be quite concerning. And we'll have a look at some of the alts that I have in my portfolio and kind of some of the mistakes that I've made as well. Why is this even happening? Well, I think you can have a look at what's been going on with the Bitcoin moves that we've been seeing today. And there's three main parties. First of all, we've got the German government, who actually seized a lot of Bitcoin and have been consistently sending millions of dollars of Bitcoin to exchanges. You can actually see this on Arkham. I'll try and leave a link to this in the description below. But if I don't, just head over to Arkham Intelligence, and you're able to see this wallet of the German government, currently with $2.4 billion of Bitcoin left. And you can see clearly, like, they are sending out Bitcoin, Bitstamp, Kraken, Coinbase. This is millions of dollars of Bitcoin just a few hours ago. And this is just going to keep happening. And so, yeah, what we're seeing is this Bitcoin is being sold off, and this is a lot of Bitcoin. $2.3 billion. The German government aren't the only one. There's also the US government, who actually have been sending, they have $12 billion of Bitcoin. They've been moving Bitcoin to certain wallets. And there is the Mt. Gox as well, who have $8 billion as well. So they've also sent some 3 different test transactions. So yeah, German government, US government, and Mt. Gox. So yeah, I mean, we don't really know if these are sold at the moment. I mean, the US government could just be moving it. The Mt. Gox is just a distribution, which is potentially going to be in the next few weeks. But the German government looks like they're clearly selling. And I think, people are kind of worried about where this leaves us. I think we're probably going to go down if that ongoing sell pressure does come, and that is a little bit worrying if you think about what's going to happen, or what is actually happening to a lot of your altcoins. If you look at my portfolio, I mean, if you look at the performance over the last 6 months, even from January, we're basically flat, and one of the reasons why we're flat is because our altcoins are down bad, and the only thing that's literally been saving my portfolio at the moment are the airdrops that we've been getting. In the last couple of weeks, we had the ZK Sync airdrop, which was a very, very nice airdrop. We also had Layer 0 as well, and there have been a couple of other smaller ones. And literally, these things are the only things that have been actually saving my portfolio. What I've been doing with these airdrops is basically dumping them for stables and ETH. And even ETH is down a little bit, but definitely not as down bad as some of the altcoins. And you can see this just by looking at like how down I am on a lot of these alts. You know, $3,000 down, $2,500, almost $3,000 down. We're down like over 10,000 on some of these alts that I have bought, and these are pretty good alts when you look at the fundamentals. But ultimately, when you've got significant sell pressure or downtrends like we have like this, nothing is going to save you. Whether you bought AVAX, right? Whether you bought Nia, whether you bought Say or BitTensor like I did, even if you bought Solana, which everyone's been enjoying a lot, even Solana is down 30, 36, almost 40%, right? 40% if you take these lows. And like these are some of the more stronger alts. If you're going and buying some of the lower cap alts like I have been doing, clearly you're going to get absolutely wrecked. And yeah, a lot of them are down 70, 80, sometimes even 90% on some of the low caps. That is just part of the game, I'm afraid. And yeah, I think this is probably one of the mistakes that I have made, is that I didn't rotate to strength when I saw or recognized these areas of weakness, and sometimes it's better to just consolidate into your ETH, your Bitcoin, and your stables, maybe Solana as well, which has generally done better than some of these other altcoins for sure, which you can see I'm down 50% on, 55% on at times. So it's not looking good at the moment. I mean, this is not the best indicator, in my opinion. I don't really like using it too much. But just to give you an idea, we are in fear. If we look at the crypto fear and greed indicator, and we've been in green for pretty much since September, October. So yeah, first time in like 9 months that we're entering fear. It doesn't really look good. And, I was pretty... one of the reasons why I was alt heavy was I was kind of really hyped and anticipating the Ethereum ETF, which I thought was going to rise a lot of the tides in my portfolio anyway, whether it's the ETH exposure, the ETH L2 exposure, or the ETH beta exposure, which actually makes up a significant part of my portfolio. I thought, ETH ETF is coming, we're going to run the Bitcoin playbook again. But ultimately, like, if you're in poor market conditions, what can you do, right? This is just part of the game, I guess. The Ethereum ETF should be pretty soon. It looks like middle of July is really when we should be seeing this go live. Has been a little bit delayed. I think originally this was supposed to go live back maybe a couple of days ago, but yeah, has been a little bit delayed. And yeah, ultimately that means a little bit more down pressure. Now, what to do in this situation? I think it's a difficult one. The question is, do you hodl for dear life? Do you sell now and buy back later? Or if not, is it too late for that as well? Really, really difficult question. And unfortunately, I don't actually know the answer to that. What I can basically tell you is what I'm doing, which of course is no financial advice, because if you copied me, you would have got wrecked as well. I think what I'm going to do is, as I have been doing, I'm going to continue focusing on the airdrops, because I think they can really help to bulk up my portfolio. And there's still many, many protocols, tokenless protocols that are launching. And I will just try and compound them into more stables and more ETH until I see a better outlook. And when I see a better outlook, then I think it's better to go back into alts again. Whereas for now, I think I'm just a little bit cautious. I still have plenty of exposure with the alts that I have. So yeah, I think, look, you can see alts make up a significant part of my portfolio overall. This is incorrect. It's 1%, I believe. Anyway, I just got to wait and see, I guess. And there's still farming opportunities. I'm still able to keep adding dollars to my portfolio every single day. But yeah, it has been a tricky one so far. And I think without the recent airdrops, I think this portfolio would be down, significantly. Maybe we'd be down another $5,000 or $10,000. So yeah, it just goes to show, like, airdrops can actually save your portfolio, but generally in these kinds of conditions, like, there's nothing, right? If Bitcoin continues to be sold, this is billions and billions of dollars of Bitcoin. And the chart doesn't really look particularly good, breaking down, out of this range to the downside, not to the upside. Then yeah, definitely not a good look. So I think that's pretty much where we are today. I don't know if I actually provided that much value rather than just explaining what's been going on. I guess that is value, I guess. But either way, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be at ETHCC, so if any of you guys are, please let me know. Would be nice to meet some of you guys too. Otherwise, I will be back with another update probably in a week's time once I'm back from ETHCC.